Everybody, and welcome back to our rating. Today we're taking a look at the brand new Clayface teaser. Now, this is just the teaser. It's not going to give a whole lot of information, I'm sure, but this is one that's been interesting me for a long time. Not because I love Clayface necessarily, but because I really like the Batman universe they're creating. And knowing this can be a bit more of like a horror story kind of leans me into like, what are they doing here? Where are they willing to go with this? The Batman was a much darker version of him, which I don't always need. I kind of like my Batman to be a little bit more joyous than Robert Pattinson brought, but I did enjoy that movie. I loved the Penguin. Let's check this one out and see if it lives up to the rest of the universe. Creepy. Kind of mouthwashy. Oh. Jeez. Okay. Wow. So really not much. Okay. Let's all right, sorry about that. There was a hiccup with my recording. I apologize. So first off, I mentioned that this kind of reminds me of Mouthwashing, which was a video game that came out a couple of years ago, where one of the members of the crew, the captain, I believe it is, looks like this pretty much the entire video game, and it's like the main art of the game. Like if you go and look at the game on Steam or whatever, that's the image you're going to see. Obviously, it's also just, people who go through plastic surgery and whatnot, but that's not something you often see in a lot of media. So Mouthwashing was the thing that kind of drew me in. Also, it's just super creepy, the like one eye just staring at you, not blinking, not really moving a whole lot, just like focus on you. Great imagery. Now, we don't get enough of this trailer to know exactly what's going on, but historically, from my limited knowledge of Clayface, which admittedly mostly comes from the animated show, he was an actor, right? And he's just trying to maintain his youth and vitality and just try and get as many roles as he can while he's still young and beautiful. So it makes sense that you hire a young and beautiful actor that is also maybe not like, I don't mean to be rude to this actor, but like not the most attractive, like somebody who has room for improvement so that it makes sense when he tries to get, plastic surgery done and whatnot, or whatever the surgery is that he's going to be going through. You can see this mask that he's wearing here, which I don't know. Maybe this is just a totally normal thing, but it looks almost like it's trying to keep his face together. Like it's kind of pushing it all into where it's supposed to be, like keeping it in place. And you can see like his one eye looks pretty okay, but this one looks a little bit more messed up. And maybe that is a matter of like whatever is happening to him, he just cannot control, which obviously we'll see a lot more of in the trailer. So in the, again, cartoon, it was more of like a clay that he was putting on top of himself, trying to like a magic makeup thing that was working on. So here they are, in fact, injecting him with something. And if I'm not mistaken, like it looks like they're injecting it directly into his eye, which for me personally is a bit of a no bueno. Like I like horror enough, I like body horror enough, but when it gets into like, I don't know, my eyes are just like a no-go zone. You know what I mean? Like that's just a creep level that I can't really handle. But it's curious to see what this mixture is and why it's doing to him what it is. So here you can see the first of many shots where like his face is essentially melting from whatever it is they did to him. He's not got control of it yet. I mean, for Clayface, there's a good chance he never will fully get control of it. That's kind of the point of the character. He can morph into other things, but he generally resorts back to being this hideous monster. And I think the effects on this so far, like it's a glimpse, it's just a quick little second, but even frozen on it here, like it looks really good. And then I love this moment. It's very evocative of like Multiverse of Madness or The Matrix or probably a dozen other movies that have done it as well. But you got to think in this movie, theoretically, from what we know of this character, he's generally an actor. And for an actor to lose their voice, like their way of bringing themselves out to the world would be just that much more horrifying. Again, this is an effect we've seen before, but it still looks good. Now, of course, this is Gotham, so there's got to be an abandoned amusement park somewhere. Does this necessarily scream the Joker? Not 100%, although obviously that'd be fun if it did. It seems like most of the villains generally have some kind of an abandoned amusement park base, so it could be anybody, but obviously they're leaning into the fact that your first thought is going to be Joker. Now, this is a scene that I really like for a couple of different reasons. One, of course, you don't actually see what's happening. I love that they're leaving that to your imagination. Two, you can see that he's using a weapon. He's turning his body into certain things, which is really cool. He's not just going to use it to get parts. And 3, he's clearly being a villain here. I really want this to be the tale of a villain. I know that sounds kind of silly, but like the whole thing with the Joker was you kind of leave feeling bad for Arthur Fleck instead of being like, holy shit, this guy's a sociopath that needs to be stopped. We need a Batman right now. I like if they're going to have a Clayface solo movie, give me a reason why I want to see Batman fight this guy. And the more villainous this guy is, the better that is for me personally. And then, of course, the 2-shot of him kind of looking the best that he's looked in this trailer to like wiping his face and it all just going away. Really clever, really well done. Maybe this is the start of him not being able to control himself and this is accidental, but I'd like to think that this is more of him like gaining control. Maybe this is a moment where he's like realizing what he has to do and it'll be easier for him to not be himself while he does it. The reason executioners used to wear masks back in the day was not 100% so that the public wouldn't see who they were. It's so they could be somebody else while they were doing it. I think that's very clever if that's the route they're going to take with this guy. It's like he's not going to wear his own face when he does bad things because he doesn't want to think of himself in quite that way, even though he recognizes that what he does is wrong. Anyways, either way, very cool effects. Very curious about this one. Anyways, this is a very short little teaser. I'm sure we'll get another trailer out in the near future, and I'll go further into detail on that one. But as far as the teaser goes, I think this looks really good. It's coming out later this year in October, just in time for Halloween. It is supposed to be more of a horror movie, so that's great timing. I'm really looking forward to this one. I just really like the Batman universe that they're creating, and I want to see a bit more of it. I don't know how it's going to work with James Gunn's Superman. They're two very, very different beasts, which personally I think is kind of okay. Like you can still have both those things that exist in the same universe, but I don't know if they're going to change who Batman is drastically so that he can mix with Superman a little bit better. I was just realizing as I was watching this, like what I know of Clayface is from like the video games and the TV show. If there's a really good Clayface comic book that I should read between now and October, leave it in the comments. I'd love to know what like a seminal Clayface story is. That'd be awesome. Other than that, though, I don't have a whole lot to say because this was just a 1-minute teaser. I think it looks really good. I can't wait to see it. What do you guys think, though? Leave me a comment down below. Let me know, is this something you're looking forward to? Do you not really care about this one way or the other? Do you think that this is going to mesh into the James Gunniverse pretty well or be like a complete standalone, like leftover from what they had before? Either way, leave me a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. If you made it this far in the video, you probably enjoyed it. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button so that I see you in the next one.